Hello there, welcome everybody. It's Diorama Don here once again. Before we get into things, please subscribe to the channel. You'll be informed when new videos come along. So this subject this time is the bridge over the River Kwai. Okay, now YouTube analytics tell me that 40% of my viewers are 55 years old and older. So it's probably only you lot that will appreciate what the meaning of the bridge over the River Kwai is. It was a movie made in the early 60s about the bridge that was made by British prisoners of war, forced by the Japanese to make the bridge over the Kwai, to make the Thai Indian rail network. A very famous film, probably the Saving Private Ryan of the 60s. So because of that, it has become a massive tourist attraction and still is today. Although this is not the bridge, obviously, that the prisoners of war made. This was made after the war. But despite that, it is still the bridge over the Kwai, and there are memorials to the fallen, which is why thousands still flock to the site. In fact, where I'm sitting now, the bridge is probably about 2 hours drive away from me. And also my Thai wife informs me that it's not the bridge over the River Kwai, it's the bridge over the River Kwai. It should be pronounced Kwai, which is what Thai people call it. But nevertheless, I digress. So this is my attempt at the bridge. It is actually longer than this. I've made these dome-shaped sides to the bridge. One section. There is another section like that the other side, and also at the other end. So that would make it another 13-14 inches longer than it is already. And as you can see, I'm having a bit of a problem trying to show you all of it as it is. Let me I'll show you down the end there. Oh yeah. So basically, if you look at photographs on the internet, and I'd like to show you a photograph of the actual bridge, but I'm just scared of copyright laws. I would hate to cross anybody's path with copyright laws, but it is a very narrow bridge, rather like that. So it's quite representative of what the bridge does look like. I'm not saying it's an exact copy, but it's getting on to be close enough. So there are obviously more piers as well. I think there are like 7 or 8 piers. So that's the bridge, and the following. The remainder, rather, of the video will be how I actually made the bridge. So there we go, the bridge over the River Kwai. Okay, I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so let's make a start. I started with the piers. These are the things sticking up out the water that actually hold the bridge up. The abutments are the pieces on either end that sit on the banks of the river, but the piers are the bits in the middle. So I made these with polystyrene. I've got 4 pieces of polystyrene, 1 3/4 wide, 2.5 inches long, and then cut at a slight angle down that way. So this angle here. Rather like the base of a Dalek from Doctor Who, if you know what I mean. That kind of shape. And then take off the corner, just take off the corner pieces there. and then with a piece of sandpaper. It doesn't take too much effort to make a radius on the edges like that. Okay, then there is two more pieces that sit on the top like that, with a 45-degree angle there, and then one more piece on top like that. If you look at photographs of the bridge, this is a reasonable representation of what the piers look like, the shape of the piers. I'd show you a photograph, but I'm just scared of copyright laws. If I show you something and then somebody says, whoa, that's my photo, get it off. So I won't show any photos, but if you're interested, there are plenty on Google. So that is basically the shape of the pier. And I've made 5 of those like that. I've given it a coat of wall filler with a little bit of water, just to give it a base now for when I give it a concrete looking finish. I'll do that with grey grout. So they're the piers. Okay, so now we need the sides of the bridge itself, which are like that. So I've made them with 2mm cardboard because they're more easily cut. So looking at photographs again, I drew what I saw two-dimensionally and then added these either side. So the uprights gives the impression of the upright being thicker than the middle support pieces, and that gives a three-dimensional look to the side of the bridge like so. And then obviously another one that side. So that's the shape of that part. Then in the middle there is a slightly different shape, a more square shape. And again, I've just drew what I saw two-dimensionally and then added ribs, if you like, to 2 pieces, just to give it the 3-dimension look, made from H-section steel, which is what the bridge is made from. Have you got all that? So that will be in the middle part of the bridge. There'll be 2 sections like that, and then 1 section either end of the dome shaped. So I've got to put all these bits and pieces together, glue these together, and then fix them to the piers, and then I'll come back and we'll see how we go from there. So I painted the piers with a grey grout, which gives it the impression of a concrete feeling, a concrete look and a concrete feeling. But there are streaks that need to come down that I will do with dry brushing a bit later. Then to hold all the piers together, it's difficult to show you all in one go. I use 3mm thick cardboard, 3 inches wide. Not quite as wide as the pier itself. The piers are slightly wider. And then with my rail track, I stuck that in, and there's cardboard in between the tracks and either side. Looking at photos, that's pretty much the design of the track as it goes across the bridge. Then I stuck my bridge sides onto the cardboard, which was pretty easy enough. Now I need to paint it more to make it look a little bit more realistic. It will take some time going back to it and then improving it slightly, I hope. So that's the bridge itself done. I shall set it into a very narrow diorama of water. yeah, so I've got that to do as well. I'll go over that when I get to it. But that's pretty much the bridge itself finished at the moment. So I'll carry on, do a bit more, and come back and show you. Okay, so basically finished now. I made the concrete piers a little more realistic with a bit of dry brushing, and the base is a long piece of polystyrene that I put 3mm card border all the way around, and then with wool filler just gave the impression of rippling water going under the bridge. The Kwai is not a fast flowing river, so it didn't need too many waves. But as regards the top, I just kept going over with dry brushing with the grey paint and a black paint and burnt sienna to give the impression of a bit of rusting on the metal parts. But generally speaking, that's it. I'll just give you a quick look down the end there. If you look at photographs of the bridge, it's similar. I'm not going to say it's an exact copy of the Kwai Bridge, but it is quite similar. It's about that. It's very narrow for trains to go across, and well, there we are, the bridge over the River Kwai. So if you've enjoyed the video, then please subscribe, and I'll be back in a few days with a new video. So in the meantime, thank you for watching, and happy modelling.